Hey people, Intro here, 3v3, Kasyr Lutien Redux. Blue team, couple of Eldar players. First up is HansMoleMan as an Eldar Farseer support commander that fights in melee combat. Lots of great buffs with some debuffs and control abilities too. We also have Topi as a Warp Spider Exarch teleporting commander that fights range combat by default. Great for capping and harassing early on with some awesome control abilities also. And alongside them is Commissar Sebastian Yarrick playing a Commissar Lord. Good offense and support. Fight in melee combat begins with a refractor field. This is the Steel Legion elite scheme. Red team, Redbeard plays a Plague Champion, starts off range combat with a damage over time bolter, can get melee weapons, some decent utility and support, can build turrets and repair, but he's so slow. And alongside a couple of Space Marine players. First up, Dark Riku as an Apothecary support commander that fights in melee combat by default, begins with a targeted heal and a passive health regeneration aura. There is the targeted heal on the Plague Champion there. Goes after the Farseer, gets a special attack, and rounding off the red team is Adila as a Techmarine. Starts off range combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair. This is the Blood Ravens. Kasyr Lutien Redux then, central VP, and one either side on east and west, all of them contested. Usually on this map you'll see both sides doubled by either team, so it's often about how the single player deals with it and can they defend their power. Your power is very close to your base on this map, but it still goes down very often. And here comes Yarrick, and Adila is alone, not reacting quickly enough to that Commissar flying in there with his refractor field up, and he's forced to retreat his Marines, but doesn't lose a model, so that's okay. And Warp's Exarch also retreats out, so he's going to lose at least one generator here unless he can come straight back out of his base and defend, but I don't think he can because there's 4 squads, so he's going to lose one of those generators. And blue team did not cap mid, they ran away from it. It's the Apothecary capping mid. Redbeard here with his CSM and his Plague Champion. Dark Riku going for the Assault Squad. Very popular build in team games. Tactical Marines straight into the Assault Squad. It's powerful but quite slow. You're going to be rather weak in first engagements with just Scouts and Tactical Marines. A lot of builds will be able to win that first engagement if you're alone. But Riku doubled up with Redbeard, which was good for both of them because Redbeard also went for a very slow tier 1 build straight into Raptors. 2-to-1 cap for Red right now. Looks like they wiped all of the Gen Seers, so that is great for them. Riku has his Tactical Marines here to help out, but here come Howling Banshees with the aspect of fleetness. You saw them jumping over cover, and Riku did not notice in time and might lose a model. Banshees chasing, and we know how awesome they are at that, and down goes one of the Tactical Marines. Here are the Assault Marines, though, jump troops with chainswords and bolt pistols that disrupt units when they land. We might see them jump this big blob, but he might be nervous about this. Commissar Lord doesn't have the power sword, but does have that aura of discipline. He's in there standing around just giving out that passive heal. It's such an awesome accessory. Accessories that give you passive benefits are really good in general, I think, because you don't need to worry about using them or timing them or the little bit of extra micro or managing your energy or anything like that. They just work. And a big push back by Red. We might see blue completely pushed off this east side because there's Devastators, Assault Marines, Flamer, Tacticals, and 2 Commanders, and I don't think they can deal with that. There's the retreat. Grenade is dodged for the most part by Adila. Yarrick keeping his guardsmen in the field for now. And the Warp Spider Exarch being annoying as ever. Redbeard has pushed completely on this west side against HansMoleMan. Rangers up though, taking shots. And there is the war shout from these Howling Banshees who have the aspect of strength. Chopping up these heretics who go into Nurgle worship. Raptors jumping. They lost a model from those Banshees. But you can do really nasty things to Banshees as the Plague Champion. Jump your Raptors in, Banshees counter initiate, and use that Touch of Nurgle, and it absolutely wrecks them. You need 150 red for Touch of Nurgle though, and Redbeard has nowhere near that. Commissar Lord running into a heavy bolter, very brave, but he's forced to retreat. What are these guardsmen up to? Oh, they're getting in there. The Shuriken Cannon able to suppress the Devastators themselves, so they're forced off. Tactical Marines in melee combat. He's going to try and keep these guys in play, get them behind cover so they can defend the power, I would think. Nope, he's going to retreat them out. Blue team capping mid thanks to Guardsman. And a pushback from Hans, overextending slightly though with his Dire Avengers, getting him in a bad position, isolated on this west side. It's good. Good places for Webway gates right on the flanks of this map, as you can see. Devastators need to turn around, and the node goes down this time on this power. Lots of action on this power then. You've seen 3 gens go down, soon to be 4, and the node. Tier 2 for Riku, Tier 2 for Adila. Heavier Tier 1s for the blue team, and they're doing well out of it on this east side in a way. Hands with Banshees, Rangers, and triple Dire Avengers. Wow. Does he have grenades for all of them? No, he doesn't. 2 of them have the aspect. Meanwhile, east side, got Riku going for the Sanguine Chainsword, heals his own Apothecary, but is in trouble here, getting too close, but does get away. So that passive heal on hit from the bolt pistol there. Do the Assault Marines get away? Just about, I think. 9 hit points, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 hit point, and the Assault Marines get away. They are really pinned back on this side. 409, 444, so 1-to-1. Power's going to go down yet again. Banshees in retreat though, and you see the Vengeance rounds from the Devastators. That's advanced targeting. Pretty nasty it is. And the pressure does not let up. Dark Riku getting a whirlwind, he says, and he is getting one. Redbeard losing his Chaos Space Marines. Lots of nasty combos here though, because of these Rangers who begin with Kinetic Pulse, which allows you to disrupt from long range, which can set up grenades, set up Banshees running in, and combine that with Farseer buffs. A lot of white potential in Tier 1 for Eldar. Raptors jumping. You have that suppression on landing, which is really useful. You can shut down massive blobs of stuff with it. 409, 427. Picking off Dire Avenger models with their melee attack to do a decent amount of damage, Raptors. They do get away without a model loss, but he pushed them a bit too much there, I think. If Hans pushes back right now, he's going to be able to push him off again, I would think. Heretics do have an aspiring champion. Rangers taking out a heretic per shot. Commissar Lord levels to 3. But Riku's Apothecary still level 1. It's important to level up your Apothecary because it improves his heal. As far as I know, that's the only ability in the game that gets better as you level up. 409, 381. Bit of an interesting mechanic there, I think. I wish they'd use it for some more abilities, maybe the other heal abilities. 409, 369. Blood Crusher on the field for Redbeard, and is going to try and have as large as impact as he can with this thing. HansMoleMan is a big fan of fire dragons, I think, so we might see those to go up against his Blood Crusher, and that's going to hurt this guy with Guide on them. Guide is the starting buff of the Farseer, boosting damage and range, so the perfect buff for fire dragons basically, since their range is quite short. Grenade on the Tactical Marines. You saw Riku tried to dodge it, saw that he couldn't, so hit retreat, which meant he took less damage from that grenade. But they still lose a model to the chasing Banshees. No sign of their aspect. Now they're in retreat. The Apothecary himself in retreat. Didn't want to get caught by the Banshees himself, and is right next to base, so might as well retreat back. Tactical Marines on capping duty, and it's Adila pushing forward with a Librarian. Has the Tome of Time, so can support these Devastators with Veil of Time, allowing them to move faster and fire without setting up. It's an awesome buff for setup teams. Yarrick now over on the west side with the Xenos Power Claw, stolen from a war boss, quite a small war boss by the look of the claw. 85 DPS, heavy melee, straight up damage weapon, basically doesn't give you any other abilities. There's a Noxious Cloud. Hans tried to split his forces, but the Blood Crusher and that cover getting in the way, so just retreats out. It's a nasty surprise, Noxious Cloud, but is usually dodged quite effectively. It's very, very slow in Elite. I don't think it lasts quite as long either. Someone's down here. It's the Warp Exarch up. It triple cap for red. They've recovered well on this east side, I should say. Whirlwind inching forward, that offering that awesome disruption. Don't need to micromanage that guy much, apart from its movement. You do need to make sure it's still though, so it can fire. 329, 337. Now the red team are going to get a power bash. Assault Marines with their sergeant gives them a power sword model and the fantastic merciless strike, one of the best melee abilities in the game. Disruption and really good damage as well. Bloodletters teleporting in for Redbeard. Demon infantry with power melee weapons getting wrecked by these fire dragons. Down goes one of the models. They can phase out of existence to avoid damage, but they just used their long range teleport there, so didn't have the energy to use it. Blood Crusher is down. Didn't last long once his fire dragons hit the field. They also have this speed boost, as you can see. I think it increases their damage when they use it as well. And his power bashing, wow, that was one volley. Is that 3 volleys and down? Pretty much. They might have a guide on them and their own speed buff ability. Not sure if they have it. Do they have 5 models without the Exarch? Raptors are going to be important here. Those fire dragons wrecking the generators really fast. Walks the Exarch, goes down again. There's the smoke grenade from the Catachyms. Whirlwind doing its thing though. Dire Avengers trying to jockey for a position to throw a grenade like that. Riku knew it was coming and gets behind that heavy cover with his Stone Guard veterans there using their Hellfire rounds. Chimera on the field, so good infield support and reinforcement for the blue team. Down goes the Commissar Lord. Apothecary takes him out and gets away level 2. His heal improves every 2 levels, so level 3, level 5, level 7, level 9. Vengeance rounds, that awesome effect they have now, exploding stuff all over the place. But they need to deal with this Chimera, obviously. What do they have in terms of AV? The Whirlwind can fire a Hunter-Killer missile, which does a big chunk of damage. We need to follow it up with something. Could get, I suppose these Vengeance rounds will do a bit of a job. Could get a Melter Bomb, and well, they can use the Vengeance rounds from the Stone Guard, but they can't get the missile launcher anymore. Is that another Noxious Cloud? I think it is. He spotted it though, I think. Can he wipe that squad? No, he can't. Plague Champion with the Plague Sword is level 3. Dire Avengers forcing melee combat. They have their Warlock leader. That's a nice grenade, almost wiping out those heretics. Here comes the Farseer, she's level 3 with the Gravity Blade. That's to counter initiate the Raptors and the Bloodletters. Some zombie Dire Avengers here from the Plague Sword. Unfortunately, you can't throw a grenade with your zombie Dire Avengers. 234, 337. Whirlwind continuing to disrupt. Do they have a plan to deal with this thing? Could just run the Wraith Lord in. Would be nice to see some fire dragons from Topi. Can also get, in fact, he already has his power blade, so he might be planning to teleport in on rear armor and go after that Whirlwind at some point. Where is he at the moment? He's capping his power back. That's marked target and melter gun for the Techmarine. Such an awesome combo. Signum armor gives you marked target, but it also passively increases the range and damage of your weapon. So awesome synergy with the melter gun going up against vehicles. Also has orbs, so he is seriously equipped to go after large targets. Yarrick edging forward, and it's red team capping mid with scouts. Those are Riku's. Redbeard lost a bunch of stuff. He's down to Raptors and Bloodletters now, and there is Levitation Field. Does damage when they fly away as well. He's keeping them in play. 228, 328. Raptors being frustrated by the Dire Avengers and lose a model in retreat and retreat backwards to gain coherency and lose another model. Keeping the push going with his bloodletters. There's that kinetic pulse again. Really nice play from Hans. Can he push the power again? His fire dragons are coming out of base. He has a webway here. Should put one on this left flank, I think. Meanwhile, east side is the blue team pushing back. Really nice back and forth here in this big 2v2 fight. We haven't seen any 2v1s since the beginning, really. Teams both committing to this east side with 2 players, and that Noxious Cloud killed tons of models and are able to get inside the Chimera. Can only carry 4 units though. The Chimera, incidentally, is set to get some really interesting changes in 2.3.1. It's going to get the ability to become a mobile base. Well, not mobile, it's going to be able to set up a forward base, lock itself down, gain some health, and allow you to reinforce around it. So that's going to be pretty awesome. You need to pay for that upgrade though. Really works into the background of Imperial Guard, I suppose. 219, 321 also gives you a retreat point, I think, when it's going to be locked down. Level 4 Commissar Lord. Plague Champion has gone down, and he has Plague Marines, Redbeard. Not entirely sure why, maybe just to give himself some durability and use them to tie things up. But they're not going to kill a lot of stuff, really. Don't do much damage to infantry Plague Marines. Even Sparkly Eldar. Down goes the Wargear Exarch. Haven't seen him go after that whirlwind. Vanguard veterans on the field for Dark Riku. There's an auto drop on the levitation grenade. Howling Banshees with their Exarch chasing things down, going after the Librarian, who used Force Barrier just in time to get away there. 185, 321. That whirlwind is a massive pain in the ass. They haven't been very aggressive going after it though. But blue team do win the engagement handily and will take that VP. What is this? It's Terminators on the field for Adila. Landred Redeemer on the field for Dark Riku. Red team getting into tier 3 and bringing out the big guns. Yarrick is also tier 3, most likely saving for a Baneblade, but we might see a Leman Russ once he sees this Land Raider here. Land Raiders really vulnerable to Eldritch Storms, of course, and Hans does have the red for one. 147, 321. Raptors jumping in. Can they suppress both squads? Yes, they can. You have that secondary burst of suppression, so you can suppress another squad. More heretics on the field for Redbeard. He's got an aspiring champion, so he's keeping him melee for now. Down goes the power though. 147, 304. The amount of power bash that Red team have had, and they still get tier 3 first and a Land Raider out. I suppose Dark Riku only got squad upgrades and the Whirlwind in tier 2, loses his scouts. Patachun's capping mid. There's the double tap for blue team, but can they stand against what red team are bringing in tier 3 on this east side? Space Marines so strong in tier 3 in team games, and in this instance they pretty much have everything there. Here they have an anti-vehicle Techmarine, they have Land Raider and Apothecary to support, they have Terminators, disruption from the Whirlwind. A lot of things for blue team to deal with. An Eldritch would help a lot. They should ask for one from Hans, ask if he has one, which he does. There's the levitation field. Redbeard pushing back here. Hans has a Wraith Lord, so those Plague Marines instantly come in handy. 2-to-1 cap for red. Are those dead Raptors? No, they do get away. Heretics is still worshipping though, he's going to lose them. And blue team will take the west side back. Red team capping mid. It's the Apothecary, level 3, so he has upgraded his target heal. Wraith Lord soaking up a lot of damage here from Topi. Was a good choice, I think. Yarrick really needs to be careful blobbing up with that whirlwind doing its thing. Where he uses his executions to snap out of retreat. 106, 248, triple cap for red team. Terminators get away, but they did lose a model. It's not cheap to reinforce Terminators. They have the heavy flamer. There's the orbs on the Chimera. Can they go after it though? Not really. Vanguard veterans lose access to their melter bomb when they upgrade to Vanguard veteran status, but they can get a power fist. 76, 248, they're jumping on the guardsmen, stopping their cap, and Yarrick is just reinforcing like crazy. He's been bled dry. He's in tier 3 but doesn't really have the resources to get anything fancy. 76, 248. Wraith Lord from Hans causing all sorts of problems. Farseer has the Armor of Fortune now, that will help out. His Banshees, do they get away? Just about lost their Exarch. Touch of Nurgle on the Bloodletters. There's that Touch of Nurgle explosion. Fire Dragons need to be careful, and there they use their speed buff and get away. Raptors have done well, they're level 4 now, so they've killed a hell of a lot of stuff and have somehow survived while the rest of his stuff has gone down. The Bloodletters similarly are now level 3, and he just wiped out a Dire Avenger squad, I believe. 76, 230, a double cap for blue. Destruction on the east side, so many dead guardsmen. Hasn't lost a squad of them though, they're just reinforcing constantly off that Chimera. They're reinforcing 3 at a time with their Commissar squad leaders. Yeah, this is a dead Wraith Lord. Not paying attention to it, this Predator coming in. But might go down, rear armor hits from the Commissar Lord and the Warp Spirit, and down goes the Predator tank. There's a Noxious Cloud from Redbeard helping out his teammates, forcing back the blue team. Topi using fleet to try and get away. Now, painful, painful. With that whirlwind knockback, look how many models he's getting. Double cap for blue. Topi has enough for a nuke of his own. Surely he's going to save it to go after that Land Raider, surely. I wonder if double Eldritches would just one-shot a Land Raider. Sometimes it can just get instantly destroyed by an Eldritch, it seems. Some kind of bug related to units being inside. I'm not sure how that works. Triple cap for blue. So red team killing endless amounts of guardsmen, but not holding this east side. Yarrick has almost 200 power, so he's probably gonna try and save up for a Bane Blade, but it's 1,000 wreck, and he's reinforcing so much. 76, 125, now just a single for the blue team. Redbeard coming back towards the west, has double Plague Marines now, and there's no more Wraith Lord to shoot at, so he's going running in and tying them up. Touch of Nurgle on the Bloodletters. As he spotted it, he's trying to get away, and Redbeard's starting to recover over here. That is that Touch of Nurgle explosion. Hans in tier 3, but similarly doesn't have the resources to get anything that he would like. There's an Eldritch Storm on the Bloodletters. That is a massive waste of an Eldritch. He does get the Bloodletters though, and those were at least level 3. So I suppose there's that, but I don't know, maybe he doesn't know there's a Land Raider. Where is the Land Raider? It's mid. They're setting up mid. Here's a Tarantula turret. Debuffed now by the Basilisk flare from the Commissar Lord's global bar. Such an annoying global. Need to be careful. Cleansing Flame on those Catechins. Redbeard pushing. 76, 93, it's close, it's a 1-to-1. Redbeard, you would think, have the upper hand just because what they have in mid here. It's going to be really tough to push against this, especially on the middle of this map. You can only push up these stairs. You've got to try and get your entire forces up these stairs, it's not easy. I suppose you can come in from 2 directions and try and split your forces that way. 62, 93, tier 3 for Redbeard. Topi still in tier 2. He's on Autark back at base with her Executioner Spear. 56.93. What is this? Dark Riku has some Terminators and he's supporting this west side. Really good play, and has his Whirlwind over here too. There is the Time Field, but Hans is in trouble. Wasted his Eldritch, I think. Did take down Bloodletters, but that wasn't enough. As enough for another one. And these Raptors continue to be a massive, massive pain. Down goes the Farseer. I think that Wraithlord purchase was the mistake. He went for a very heavy tier 1 and then upgraded everything in tier 2 and got wargear, so that Wraithlord purchase really set him back in terms of his economy. Has good power income though, or good amount of power. They actually have poor power income. Both teams with poor power income. Red team have no generators whatsoever, and blue team have a few. 33.93. Looks like the red team are going to be able to see this out with their Terminators and their Land Raider mid. Land Raider allows you to reinforce and retreat back to it, which is a massive, massive deal. Wow, a really good Noxious Cloud. So many of them in this game. Really looking forward to those Chimera changes. There's an Eldritch on the Land Raider. That's going to take it out, I think. No, it lives. And now they can just repair at their leisure. 14.93. Two blue commanders down over here, both the Eldar ones. Can they push? They can't push mid. You've got to come west side. You've got to come west side of everything to stand a chance. And they don't have time, obviously. 4.93 with a 2-to-1 red team are going to hold on. A really interesting 2v2 fight on that east side, playing out alongside the 1v1 on the west between Hans and Redbeard. Redbeard seemed to be under some serious pressure, but he recovered, and these Plague Marines gave him that added durability, which helps you hold positions, of course, and helped him hold this VP. Hans losing his Fire Dragon, losing his Wraithlord. Also, Grap should have gone for the Fire Prism instead of the Wraithlord, but there you have it. Wraithlord's usually very good purchase. Double Manticores for Yarrick at the end there instead of the Baneblade. He had Terminators from both of the Space Marine players. And yeah, some great fights on the east side. Ended up in the mid though with this massive blob of Space Marine stuff. So hard to push against. They didn't have what it took. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time.